Oh, what's good? What's good? It's your man Rico. Man, it's 79 degrees here. Yes, it's February, so I'm not falling for it. But I got a few minutes before my next client comes. I just want to have a conversation about this latest controversy that's been going on. For me, it's not controversial because it's continuously going on. By the way, like, share, and subscribe. It's on my way to trying to get to 1,500 subscribers, so y'all help me boy out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Shout out to Janice Bernard back in Memphis. Tell a friend to tell a friend that your boy Rico is on YouTube doing a thing. I'm gonna have another video coming up in a little while, but I had a few minutes, so I just want to share this with you all. And pardon the camera moving because I'm outside, as I said, and doing my thing. But everyone is talking about the latest cover of Ebony magazine, where actor Jonathan Majors is dressed in these very questionable outfits. Shout out to the owners or the white owners and the black managers of Ebony magazine. And something about these magazines that whenever they seem to have men or black men in particular on the cover, they want to, I guess, soften them up for some reason, under the guise of trying to appeal to women. But you know, I'm 54 years old, and I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I never heard women really get moist when they saw men who looked like them or trying to portray them. But anyway, well, I guess that's what they said we're going to. It was like the Valentine's Day cover of Ebony magazine. And so Mr. Jonathan Majors, who's going to be in the movie Creed 2 or Creed 3. I'm planning to go see it. I love the Creed movie. Shout out to Michael B. And shout out to the originator of the Rocky shows, the Rocky series, Sylvester Stallone. But Michael B. Jordan, this is his, I think it's his directorial debut. The film looks good, so I plan to go see it. However, and he's also in Ant-Man versus Wasp. This is Jonathan Majors. He's getting some work around here, and he's seem to be doing his thing. But and he's all, you know, big and muscular and buffed and, you know, almost Terry Crews-esque. But somehow there's something about the dark-skinned, heavily melanated black man that America, you know, when they look all buff and masculine, you know, like something that little black boys can aspire to, they try to make it their business to make sure these guys look as soft and as fruity and as emasculated and as buck broken as possible when they present them in TV shows, on the covers of magazines, and all of that, right? So that's been the continuing, ongoing conversation. Well, why the attack on black masculinity? Why the attack on why the emasculation, appearance of emasculation of black males on the covers of these magazines? And also, it kind of started with this Rihanna ASAP Rocky, with this whole Rihanna leading the way as ASAP Rocky is following her. And there's some people who pretend that they don't understand what images are and how powerful images are, because they really want to go along and get along. That's the only way I can surmise why they can't see the writing on the wall as relates to the constant attack on black male leadership, black male masculinity, black male sexuality. But Jonathan Majors, ASAP Rocky, Jonathan Majors. And so, but, you know, and also you had, when you go back down the last few years, you had CeeLo Green. That make me crazy. That make me crazy. CeeLo Green and of the Goody Mob. He's wearing a wedding dress while the white man is wearing a tuxedo. I guess he's the woman in that picture. And you have, who else? You have Charles Barkley in a dress, Shaquille O'Neal in a dress, Russell Westbrook in a dress, Kevin Hart in a dress, everybody, all these brothers, these athletic men, Terry Crews allowing the little white dude to grab all of his package and he didn't kick his ass. It's the constant attack on the black male image that's going on. And so, but it gets to a point where we're having these discussions. I know these men know that we're having these discussions. Oh yeah, don't forget these black, muscular, tough looking, very manly looking black men who are getting their cheeks clapped in shows like Lovecraft Country and P-Valley. You know, so, you know, it takes me back to when Wesley Snipes was Tu Wong Fu. When Wesley Snipes had been the greatest superhero the little black boys could ever seen on the screen, he was Blade. Then now, as soon as Blade was over, he turns into Noxzema Jones. And now you have to have Minister Farrakhan to really speak on that. And we don't seem to respect the psychological development of children as black people. We don't seem to understand what that means. Maybe we need to take a developmental psychology class and become more abreast of what that does to when children see images like this, particularly young black boys. And for you to pretend that it doesn't affect them, well, look at all these little dudes out here dressing like the rappers. Pants sagging, tattoos. Now I think I've seen some rappers wear these disgustingly ugly ass red boots. They almost look like they could be on chessboards. And there's some young men are going to wear that because the rappers, they seem to take the males and use them to be the influences of younger black males and young adult black males. And so Jonathan Majors doesn't seem to think there's a problem with that. And even with Shaquille, what's his name, LeBron James, when he posed as the gorilla Mighty Joe Young on the cover of Vogue, when he was holding the white woman, you had to go look at the movie King Kong, the Mighty Joe Young. I think it's more King Kong, when he had the little white woman, she was screaming. Well, LeBron James was put in that pose for that magazine. He didn't, I guess to his ignorance, he didn't understand the backlash. And so the question becomes, we can continue to have these conversations, and let me continue. We've had scholar after scholar after scholar talk about the assassination of the black male image. Dr. Earl Lafaurie Hutchinson, shout out to that brother, he's still with us. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing passed away in 2016 at age 80. She wrote the book, The ISIS Papers. She always talked about the attack on black male sexuality and the emasculation of the black male. In all her lectures, go to YouTube. Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu wrote books on countering the conspiracy to destroy black boys. Michael Porter wrote a book that's called Kill Them Before They Grow. Dr. Amos Wilson spent the parts of the 60s and 70s trying to talk about the psychological impact of white supremacy on the minds of black Americans, as well as the images, the negative images purposely put out there about black boys and black men. We had scholar after scholar to talk about these things. Even Minister Farrakhan's talked about it. It's almost as if we don't hear anything and we don't hear anything that is the truth about us unless it's coming from someone from a white corporation. I can't help but think this, because we've had scholar after scholar to talk to us about it. We even have a sister by the name of Michelle Alexander. She wrote a book called The New Jim Crow that tells you how black men are being attacked as relates to railroading them into the prison system. They are the products. But we still won't listen. So who's not reading? Black women are not reading? Black men aren't reading? Something's going on for us to continue to do these things to ourselves. And what I'm going with this is, Jonathan Major doesn't have to really give a damn, because all Jonathan Majors and all these black dudes in entertainment and athletics, the biggest, strongest, the blackest, the buffest of us, being reduced to dresses and looking like weirdo, strange little chicks. And then they have the audacity to become offended when people call them out on it. All of a sudden we're haters and we're hating on them, and this black on black hatred. All of a sudden it's a racial thing then, but you don't see the racial component when they put the biggest, the strongest, the blackest of us to make us look like weak little kids or homosexuals or look like females. Those of you who put on the dresses and makeup and weave and hair guys. Y'all don't see how that impacts little girls, huh? Y'all know little black girls, one day grew up to want husbands, but they look at the image of all the biggest and the strongest of us acting like chicks. Where are they supposed to go? So the question becomes, when are black men gonna, how about this? Why are you guys volunteering? Because racism, white supremacy, racism is going to be here. It's not going anywhere. But what we don't have to do is participate in it. Whenever I see a black male allowing himself to be used to push the agenda of black male inferiority, see, I have to ask you, why'd you do that? Was the money so great that you sold your soul and the souls of black boys coming up under you and little black girls coming up under you? Was the money so great then? Where is your shame? Where's your respect for yourself and your culture? Because we can continue to have these conversations, these long conversations about the emasculation of black men, but we're going to have to talk about these dudes volunteering to be bitches, volunteering to wear dresses, volunteering to get their cheeks clapped in movies, and black men volunteering to be bottom bitches in movies. Y'all, we're gonna have this conversation. Y'all continue to get mad all you want to, but you big grown ass dudes y'all gonna have to, hey, you're gonna have to say something one day. So I'm kind of over the conversation of, well, you know, they're emasculating black men. No, these dudes are volunteering. Just like anything, let's go back to when the feminists were upset about the rappers back in the day. The rap videos. You know, what they do is they exploit women, they objectify women. And we had to tell the feminists, all those beautiful young black women in those videos, be it the biracial, the half black ones, or the blonde ones, or the good and caramel and chocolate ones, with the small two-piece bikinis with tits and booty everywhere. Guess what they had to do in order to get in that video? They had to volunteer to audition. That's why these movements can't go anywhere. These so-called anti-movements, anti-sexism, anti-misogyny, it can't go in there because people are volunteering. So you look stupid talking about black male, the emasculation of black men, when you got black dudes lining up to wear dresses, lining up to play in movies where they get their cheeks clapped. So we need to have a conversation with these dudes. Like, what y'all got going on? I mean, who are you? And then, but you want to be the first one to get in line to get the NAACP Image Award. You think you're supposed to be applauded for being in a movie or being in a photo ad or something. You think you're supposed to be applauded for being on the cover of Ebony magazine looking like a straight fruitcake. Yeah, I know some of you are going to say, what you're going on is a homophobic rant. No, I'm not homophobic because I don't believe that's a real word. I don't have a fear of homosexuals. I don't get nervous when I see gay people around me. So that word is dead. It doesn't mean anything. And anybody that uses the word homophobic, you're stupid because it's not a real word. It's some made up shit to try to keep people from expressing how they really feel about some shit that looks weird. However, so this is what I would like everyone to do. You know, join me in asking these dudes, why? Just why? Why you continue to make the argument or the conversation look null and void or stupid when we talk about the emasculation of the black male image, when you're lining up? We talk about these little funk ass rappers, but they're all lining up to get signed to say the N-word and to spew violence and murder threats against other black people. And we always see all the time that these black male rappers who talk about murdering other blacks, pulling up on other black people, as soon as one homosexual, one Jew, one Caucasian female says something to them, they put on two-piece suits, they hide their tattoos, and their English all of a sudden becomes unbroken. And they know how to apologize with the best English that they can muster up. So that too has to be called into question. Why is it that black Americans or black people are the ones that everybody, including other blacks, feel so comfortable with dumping on and making money off of and exploiting? This is Rico the Opinionist. Hey, y'all get at me. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll have a book too, by the way. It's a 50-page short story. It's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. Conversation with the absent biological father who dared to be found. It's about when I first found out about my biological father by accident at age 22. It's only $10. Check out this description box, $10. It's in PDF format, so if you hit me on the Cash App, Rico the Opinionist, everything is in the description box, what you need to do. Please send an email address so I can just email it right to you as soon as you make that purchase. And I'll see y'all on the next opinion. Y'all be cool. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.